Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Chris's Collectible Corner, and for those of you who are new, thank you for coming through to tune in for this review. And today we're taking a look at the MDLX Jazz from Threezero's Transformers G1 line. But before we get into the figure itself, if you wouldn't mind, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. It really helps and I appreciate the support. Alright, so taking a look at the packaging, starting from the back, as you guys can see, we have some really nice images of the figure itself and all the poses that you could put him in. We have a nice red and black kind of colorway to contrast the red, white, and blue that Jazz usually represents. On the side, we have the Autobot logo that wraps around to the front, and as you can see, we have a little window right here where you can see the figure himself. We have some more imagery of Jazz right there firing his gun with the Threezero logo on the upper left hand corner, and then again we have another image of Jazz standing straight up and down. It's the same photo that was on the other side, just here you can see the full body. And I really like this packaging. To me, it kind of harkens back to the old Beast Wars boxes, collectibles from the 90s when that shit was coming out. Like, very busy, a lot of stuff going on there. And I kind of like it. It's an entertaining box to look at. It's not boring. You don't have all this legal writing and warnings on the box like some of their other figures. It's just images of the figure itself, and that's what we're all here for. And I think this is a plus for you in-box collectors. But now let's get this guy out the box. Alright, so here we have Jazz out the box standing straight up and down in the light box, and man, this guy really pops. I think it's the white colors with the hints of the red and blue and the black to contrast it. This guy looks really nice. I really like the silhouette and the overall look of him. So to kind of give you guys some info, this is Threezero's take on the Transformers G1 characters. So obviously the silhouettes match the G1 designs, but they're more updated to be a bit more detailed and to look more realistic, and honestly I really like these. I wish that the films would have done something like this, more of a compromise to harken back to the G1 designs instead of the overly complicated looks that they went with, but I get it, they were trying to be more realistic, and I personally really like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime's design in the movies, but if they would have leaned this way, I wouldn't have been opposed to it either. And I'm gonna get out ahead of it because I already know what's gonna come up in the comments. No, this figure does not transform. Threezero does not have the license to make transforming Transformers, but also in my experience of owning Transformers that do transform, there are limitations that are placed on the figure when it comes to the silhouette, depending on the design of the character as well as the articulation, because you have to find a place to put all the kibble. And honestly, let's be realistic, who buys a Transformer to pose it on their shelf as a car and not the robot form? I mean, maybe there's people like that out there, and kudos to you, but if I had a Transformer, I'm gonna have it in the robot form. I don't care about it being a car. I just want the most accurate representation of what the character looks like in a robot form without any compromises or sacrifice. That all aside, this guy looks really nice. He stands at about 6 inches from head to toe. He's got a really nice glossy finish on the paint and even more glossy on the black part, so it doesn't look like it's the same material all throughout. I really like the black wash that they did in between the crevices to really help those details kind of pop a bit more. And I just really like the proportions on how like big his legs are, and they look a bit futuristic yet still modern, and I overall really like the silhouette that this guy has. But let's punch in and take a closer look at the details. So here we are looking at the lower half of his legs. As you see, there's like these tiny details, like on the back of the heels you see like little exhaust pipes, and then on the side you see like the kind of sky blue like hubcaps. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like there's obviously a tire there but it's covered up. Then we have like these grills on the shins, and as you see above the shins and then inside the inner legs there's this metallic blue that kind of highlights like the pipes, and then hints of the silver all throughout. I don't know, this thing looks really nice to me. I really like the detail that it went with, and I think it's a good balance of being a simple design to look at, but when you start to look closer there's more details going on there, and the paintwork is immaculate as always. because like I said before, this is something that Threezero excels in. So I don't see any paint bleeding into areas that it shouldn't be. Everything is nice and tidy. Now let's take a look at the upper body. So here we go. As you see, the racing stripe right down the back, really nice. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying that, but it's nice. And then you see on the shoulders, on the ends, the little hints of silver. Like, they don't overdo it. And then right here, we have the hood of the car that you can see. And once again, that paintwork is so nice. The red really pops. I don't know, I just really feel like whoever's designing this line really loves G1, and I appreciate it. I love G1 as well, so I'm a big fan of this line. And I feel this is the closest we're ever going to get to some of the G1 characters and designs being realized in a more realistic fashion. And when we got that in the Bumblebee movie, but there were still a lot of characters missing. And then here we go, spinning around to the back, as you can see the inner details of the door. And that's one of my favorite things about Transformers. I really love when you see them in robot form, but you can still see hints of the car parts on him because it looks like a deconstructed car. And I feel like they did that mostly in the movies in the first and second film, but then later on it just started getting way more complicated. And I was like, how does this even remotely look like it used to be a car? Like, it doesn't. And I think that's the whole appeal of Transformers. You're basically getting two toys in one, but the robot form shows resemblance of what it used to be before it was a robot. But now let's take a look at the articulation so we can appreciate some of the other details of this figure and this design that they went with. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. We're going to start with the arms as we usually do. As you see on the shoulders, these pieces are on hinges. Let me see if I can pop it off to show you guys. Yeah, see right there? It's on hinges. So this way when you move the arm up, it's going to move with it. And he can, wow, okay. He can move his arm straight up all the way, 100%. And I like how they had this little cut right here. So this when you put the arm down, it's flush right there on the body. So let me just put this back. Yeah, see, and it clicks right in, so no big deal. So, like I said, with the shoulder, boom, he can go straight up. Okay, so it kind of hits this part right here, so I'm not sure why that's there or why they put that there, but that's kind of a bummer. All right, double jointed elbow, bicep rotation, and then on the wrist peg, it's on a die cast peg, so it's nice and sturdy. You can move it around, and a little bit of rotating, like a little bit of movement going back and forth. Check the other arm. Oh, okay, yeah, see, that's annoying. I don't know why these are there for, especially if you're gonna try to move the arm and it's gonna just knock it right off. But you know, whatever. That aside, the articulation is great. We can move the arm, great amount of distance. Double elbow joint, bicep rotation. And something I like that they do here is that these little added car parts, like they're on a little ball joint, so you could, you know, kind of flare them out a little if you want to make them like take up more space, or you can kind of move them around, and you can kind of use these as like wrist guards, or even kind of something to like just punch somebody with to kind of hit them. So, you know, it's pretty cool. And these pop in pretty easily. Not sure if you can see, but the pegs are right there. Oh. And then we're just gonna pop it right back in. Put the arm down. There you go. Alright, so move that back. Alright, so on the chest or waist ab crunch. Okay, he can look down really good amount. Can he lean back? Okay, yeah. I like how it reveals all this detail underneath here. In the back, they're not gonna do the usual where it has the layers revealing itself, because he has the hood of the, well, not the hood, but the top of the car as his back, so kind of just moves forward and then you kind of see what's underneath there. But yeah, ab crunch is great. He can rotate on the top as well, so that's good. And then waist rotation as well. A little tight, but it's there. Okay. Head, he can look up that much. Can't really look down much because his chin gets hit on the hood. Tilt side to side a little bit. But you can look all the way around. He's a robot, so that won't kill him. And then here on the wings or the car doors, they have them on these little pegs right here. So these move down if you want to kind of give them like a different look. So there you go. It's a bit more streamlined. You can kind of see them on the back right there. Or you could put them straight back a little bit more, not all the way up like I had them before. So, you know, kind of gives them a different look in a profile view. Or you could have them go all the way up. Boom. You can flare them out a little bit. Be careful though, because these pop off like pretty easily, see? So you just gotta pop them back on this ball joint right here. Not a big deal. Kind of wish they would have had something a little bit more sturdier, but you know, it's on a die-cast ball joint, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. Alright, so now let's look at his legs. Now, the only thing about this line that I wish they did better, on some figures they do it better, others not so much, is all these pieces right here on the waist, like the skirt, because they're all separate individual pieces held on by ball joints. And if you don't move them the right way, they will just pop right off. See? I mean, I get it for the aesthetic, but you know, and I'm not sure. I don't really have an alternative option of what they could do, but it is kind of annoying when you're trying to pose them or moving the legs. But I just put these away for now. So as far as like leg articulation, you can kick right up to there, 90 degrees. The thigh hits his waist right here at the top. Same on this side. You can do the splits like really well. Boom, there you go. Well, he is Jazz, so you know he's gonna be moving and stuff. And see, these side skirts don't really get in the way of that, so that's great. Then he has a double knee bend, which reveals more detail. And man, he can get that leg way back. Alright. Same here. And all the joints feel nice and sturdy. Not like too tight, but also not like super loose. It just feels nice and smooth. Alright, we got some thigh rotation. There you go. And did I mention this before? All the joints are reinforced with die cast? Oh, there you go again. And then for the feet, he has good ankle pivot. So there we go with that. And then he can go forward a little bit. And he can go up a good amount. And then this little piece kind of moves when you're moving the foot up. So that's a cool little add-on they did right there. You can't really bend his feet down too much because of this, but I'm wondering if, can we move that? Okay, yeah, so we could do that and kind of get it out the way so he can, you know, bring his toes down. So, all right, you just gotta mess around with it a little bit. But, all right, let me put these back. Kind of complete his look. There you go. Yeah, so overall, this figure feels nice. There's some things I wish they had did a little bit better, especially here with the shoulders. The shoulders aren't bad, it's just these little pieces right here kind of like hinder it. And based on what I saw in the manual, I don't know what these pieces do exactly, because if you could put a cannon there, then that'd be something different. You remove it. Maybe you can with one of the other characters, but with the stuff he comes with, it's just, he has no use for it. Like, he has the gun that he holds in his hand, and he has the grappling hook, so. But alright guys, there you go. That's his articulation. Alright guys, so taking a look at the accessories that this guy comes with. He comes with his photon rifle, 2 rifle holding hands, so this way you can have variation of how you want to display him and which hand you want him holding the rifle with. He has his grappling hook, which actually pegs directly onto his arm, so it's actually a replacement for the hand itself. Then he has his saluting hand, or a karate chop hand. You could use it to kind of chop foes down, or you could have it where he's kind of looking out in the distance, surveying for Decepticons, or he's actually saluting the head Autobot, Optimus Prime. Then he comes with a right hand that's completely spread out, so you can use that to also put him in the Iron Man pose. But they also showcase this on the website where he can actually support his entire weight on that arm, and you can kind of have him in a breaking freeze pose. And for the last accessory he has a left hand peace sign pose. So that's more of an iconic pose for Jazz. Alright, so taking a look at some size comparisons, here we have Jazz standing next to the SH Figure Arts Daima Mini Vegeta, just so you guys could see how he scales to other figures from other lines. And here he is with Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and I think Goku is a good size comparison just because Goku is a pretty much standard size of like most action figures within the 6-inch scale range. Then here we have him with the DLX Mark V Iron Man by Threezero. That's a sneak peek because I'm going to be reviewing this figure also on the channel in the near future, but just so you can kind of see how he looks to other figures from other lines that Threezero offers. And then here we have him next to the YOLO Park model kit Orion Pax from the Transformers 1 movie. And then here we have him with the MDLX 40th anniversary vintage edition Optimus Prime of the same line, just so you can kind of see how these guys look next to each other. And then here we have him with another line that Threezero offers, which is the DLX The Last Night Optimus Prime. And I don't know if I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again just looking at these two. Threezero is the best. I mean, look at this. Just the paintwork, the details, and the variety they give is just ridiculous. Alright guys, so that was my review of Threezero's MDLX Transformers Jazz. And I just have to say, I really appreciate this line and that they're harkening back to the G1 Transformers designs. I still love that they kept Jazz as a Porsche 935 racing car. They still kept the racing stripes. The paintwork on this guy is clean. The build is still solid. Great articulation. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but for the price point that you get him at, which was $80, I got him off of Entertainment Earth, but I believe he's still available on Threezero's official website. If you want to pick him up there, I'll leave that link in the description. But overall, my thoughts on this figure, I think it's a great buy. I think if you're collecting this line, you should definitely pick it up. I don't know if Jazz is one of the more popular characters. I mean, if you're a G1 fan, you definitely gotta have him because he's part of the main roster, and he goes great with the other figures from this line, so you definitely gotta pick him up if you want to complete the set. Now, I usually review Dragon Ball figures from SH Figure Arts on this channel, so I'm still gonna fix the rating system, but as it is right now, I'm still using the Dragon Balls and the Dragon Radar, so just bear with me. So with that said, using the Dragon Radar and the Dragon Balls from a scale from 1 to 7, I'm gonna give this guy a 5. I think it's a great figure, but the things that did bother me were the little pieces with the articulation. Those pieces on the shoulder just kind of pop off if you raise the shoulders too high up. I feel like the doors could be on more secured hinges so they don't pop off so easily. And then just the little kibble on his waist area when you're moving the legs are the only hindrance. Plus, he doesn't really come with too many accessories, but once again, for the price point, which was $80, to get a beautifully painted 6-inch figure of Jazz with die-cast reinforced joints, you really can't beat it. And I'm really just nitpicking, you know, as a collector, and I have to be honest with you guys, is where you guys can make an informed decision on the figure if you want to pick it up or not. I'm gonna get it regardless because I love the line, period. But I hope that helps you guys with your decisions when you're choosing to buy a figure to add to your collection. With that said, I hope you guys found this review informative. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. Thank you for stopping by my corner of the internet, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.